Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So yesterday we read about how our Mahaprabhu was requested by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to give him a hearing of his recitation of the Vedanta Sutras. And our Mahaprabhu, he agreed, he submissively agreed. So then, what happened after that? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard with silence what the great Sarvabhauma uttered with gravity for 7 days, at the end of which, so for 7 days, Mahaprabhu just silently sat and was listening to the recitation of Vedanta Sutras by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He did not speak anything. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is a great Pandit. And he's very intelligent, very scholarly, very intelligent, very sharp. And he was noticing this, that Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was listening, but he was not asking any questions and he was not giving any expressions. So at the end of 7 days, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he said to our Mahaprabhu, so Krishna Chaitanya, because that is the name Mahaprabhu got after his initiation, after his sannyas initiation, Krishna Chaitanya. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, Krishna Chaitanya, I think you do not understand the Vedanta, as you do not say anything after hearing my recitation and explanations. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is doubting whether he is able to even understand anything. The reply of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was that he understood the sutras very well, but could not make out what Shankaracharya meant by his commentaries. So as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was doing his recitations and he was explaining the explanations of Adi Guru Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya, who is from the Mayavad philosophy, who believe that the Supreme Lord does not have a form. So Mahaprabhu said that whatever the sutras are there in the Vedanta, I can understand all of them very clearly. They are very clear in itself, very simple, very easy to understand, very clear by itself. But I cannot understand the explanations that you are giving. I do not understand the commentaries that is given by Shankaracharya. These are words of our Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Lord. Astonished at this, Sarvabhauma said, how is it that you understand the meanings of the sutras but do not understand the commentaries which explain the sutras? So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was so surprised that, okay, you are able to understand the sutras, but these commentaries are meant to explain the sutras. And how is it that you are able to understand the sutras but not the commentary? All well, if you understand the sutras, please let me have your interpretations. This is what the Mayavadis do. They interpret, they give their own interpretations of what the Lord is saying. That is the problem. So here Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he said that fine, if you are able to understand the sutras, then let me hear what have you understood. Let me hear your interpretations of the sutras. Because you are saying that you cannot understand the commentaries given by Shankaracharya. So our Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thereupon explained all the sutras in his own way, without touching the pantheistic commentary of Shankaracharya. The keen understanding of Sarvabhauma saw the truth, the beauty, and the harmony of the arguments in the explanations given by Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and obliged him to utter that it was the first time he had found one who could explain the Brahma Sutras in such a simple manner. So what did Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya? What did he? What did he was obliged, after listening to the explanations given by Mahaprabhu, he was obliged to say this. And it was the first time that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya revealed his heart, that this was the very first time that he met someone, or he saw someone who was able to explain the Brahma Sutras, the Vedanta Sutras, in such a simple manner, without any complications. And he also admitted that the commentaries of Shankaracharya never gave such natural explanations of the Vedanta Sutras as those he had obtained from Mahaprabhu. So he had to reveal his heart. He was so basic. So he actually, when we come face to face with a pure devotee, what happens is we will not be able to say any lies. We will not be able to lie in front of a pure devotee, because that is the power of the pure devotee. The aura of a pure devotee is such that even if somebody has a bad intention, even if somebody wants to say something which is not true, but they will not be able to do it. Automatically, the truth will come out of the mouth of their mouth. So, what to speak of Mahaprabhu, who is the supreme personality of Godhead? And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he is also not some ordinary person. He is Brihaspati himself. He is the incarnation of Brihaspati. So he revealed his heart to Mahaprabhu, that honestly, the commentaries that are given by Shankaracharya, they are also not this simple and easy to understand. But Mahaprabhu's explanations are so simple, and they bring out the truth, they bring out the natural meaning of the Vedanta Sutras. So he revealed his heart, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Then he submitted himself as an advocate and follower of our Mahaprabhu. Hari bol. So basically, he was arguing with Gopinath Mishra that, oh, he's a great devotee, but he was not ready to accept that he is the supreme personality of Godhead. But after these 7 days of this Bhagavad Saptaha, so Vedanta Saptaha happened between Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And on the seventh day, when Mahaprabhu gave the explanations, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya understood that yes, this person cannot be an ordinary person. No ordinary person can give such an explanation. And he understood, and he became a follower of Mahaprabhu. He became an advocate of Mahaprabhu. He he started glorifying our Mahaprabhu. He started giving out Mahaprabhu to everyone. In a few days, he turned out to be one of the best Vaishnavas of the time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. When reports of this came out, the whole of Orissa sang the praise of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and hundreds came to see him and became his followers. Because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was so well known there. And when everybody heard that, oh, this great scholarly person, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has, surrendered to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is advocating the fact that he is non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everybody became interested to come and see Mahaprabhu. They've all wanted to come and see this young effulgent sannyasi. So hundreds and hundreds of people, they all came. The whole of Orissa started praising our Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and so many people, they started coming to him to take his darshan, and they all became his followers. In the meantime, Mahaprabhu thought of visiting southern India, and he started with Krishnadas Brahman for the journey. So while all this was happening and while all this was going on, Mahaprabhu, he wanted to visit South India. He wanted to give this love of God, and he wanted to distribute this freely, and therefore he wanted to visit South India. And when he expressed this desire. So all his intimate devotee followers and devotees, they all suggested, they all advised that Mahaprabhu, please don't go alone. Please take someone along with you so that somebody can take care of you. Somebody can carry your kamandalu, somebody can carry your, because Mahaprabhu would be taking his bath, and Mahaprabhu goes into ecstasy when he does kirtan, and in ecstasy he falls down. So there should be somebody who can take care of Mahaprabhu. So they all suggested out of love that please take someone with you. So Mahaprabhu agreed to take Krishnadas Brahman along with him when he went to South India. His biographers have given us details of this journey also. So the biographers of Mahaprabhu, they have given details of the journey, of his journey from Nadia to Jagannath Puri, and then there are very detailed information about his journey from Jagannath Puri to his travel to the southern part of India. So, in the south part of India, he first went to Kurmakshetra, where he did a miracle by curing a leper named Vasudev. Then he met Ramanand Rai, the governor of Vidyanagar, on the banks of Godavari, and had a philosophical conversation with him on the subject of Prema Bhakti. He worked another miracle by touching the seven tal trees from behind which Ramchandra, the son of Dasharath Maharaj, had shot his arrow and killed the great Valiraj. And um, so he touched the seven tal trees behind which Ramchandra had shot the arrow and he had killed Bali. And then again, he made these seven tal trees disappear. They all vanished also. So, this was another miracle that he did. First miracle was Vasudev Vipra, this Brahman, he had leprosy, and in those days, these days I don't know if leprosy is common or not, but in those days, people would get leprosy, and this leprosy is such that the these micro, these worms, they start eating the body, they eat up the body. So um, so such people who get this disease, they are sent out of the village because it's very infectious. So therefore they are, sent out of the village so that others don't get infected. So this Brahman, this Vasudev Brahman, he used to live little away from Kurmakshetra, little outside the village in the jungles. But when he got the news of that Mahaprabhu was visiting, and he became so, he wanted to take darshan, he wanted to see the sannyasi. So much news, so many updates came from so many people that, the sannyasi is so effulgent. He is no ordinary person. He's definitely the supreme personality of Godhead. So this Brahmin, he wanted to see the supreme Lord, and with that desire, he tried to, you know, because all his fingers, his feet, everything was eaten up by this maggots, these worms. So somehow he reached the village, and when he reached the village, just before some time he reached, Mahaprabhu had left the village. And this Vipra, Vasudev Vipra, when he arrived at the house of the Brahman where Mahaprabhu was staying, so this Brahman told him that, oh, Mahaprabhu just left some time back. So hearing this news, this Vasudev Brahman, Vasudev Vipra, who had this leprosy, he became so grief stricken. He was so sad that he could not get darshan of Mahaprabhu. With that grief, he fainted, and uh, and everybody tried to revive him. But our Mahaprabhu, he had left the place. But what miracle did he do? He suddenly appeared again in front of this Vasudev Vipra. He just appeared in front of him and he embraced him so tightly that all these maggots and all these worms, he embraced him so tightly that they all, out of those punctures, those places where that were eaten by these maggots, the maggots came out. And as Mahaprabhu embraced him, this Vasudev Vipra, he got completely cured and he received a youthful body because it was embrace of Mahaprabhu. And then having having got his darshan, this Vasudev Vipra, this Brahman, he was so ecstatic, he felt so happy. And then they had a brief conversation, and then Mahaprabhu disappeared again in front of everyone. So that was the miracle that Mahaprabhu did, the first miracle that he did in Kurmakshetra. Then another miracle is by touching these seven tal trees, he made them disappear. So these trees are not there anymore because Mahaprabhu touched them and they disappeared. So, Krishna willing, what happens next and what other pastimes Mahaprabhu did, Krishna willing, we'll see tomorrow. Thank you so much, so very much for your association and helping me to read this book. Thank you so very much.
Hare Bol.
वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील जय पताका स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय। श्री
Jai.
Hare Bol.
की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि
Hare
Hari
Bol.
Bol. Hari Bol.